An immigration judge agreed
bail-
that he was MS-13.
for bail purposes.
An appellate board agreed.
Don't misrepresent.
Hold on.
A judge.
Everybody pause. We're going to let one person talk at a time. You ask a question. Answer the question, please.
So you have, is that a court order? Well, I object.
No, she can put anything she wants in the record. She's not complying to your request, Mr. Goldman.
She asked for unanimous consent. I mean, that's what I'm objecting to. If she is accurate in what her representation is, I will withdraw my objection. I just need to see the document.
Somebody walk the thing over there and let him read it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to America First, the channel where we fight every day to defend the Constitution, secure our borders, and stand up for truth in a country drowning in lies. If you're sick of the media spinning stories, tired of the radical left protecting criminals, and done with watching good Americans get shouted down in their own Congress, then hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're not stopping. Not today, not ever. Now, let's talk about what just happened in Congress, because it says everything you need to know about the state of our country. In a hearing meant to address serious issues, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to do something very basic: enter into the official record a statement from the Attorney General of the United States. A factual, cited, verifiable statement that said Kilmar Abrego Garcia, an illegal immigrant, has been identified by multiple agencies as a member of the violent gang MS-13.
Are hurt on your watch.
Gentleman's time has expired. I now recognize...
Mr. Chairman, sorry. I ask unanimous consent to enter for the record. One of our colleagues had asked if there was evidence if the so-called Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, was MS-13. According to the Attorney General of the United States, she posted that the evidence shows Kilmar Abrego Garcia has repeatedly been identified as a member of MS-13 by a Maryland County Police Gang unit, which I introduced for the record, a reliable confidential informant, ICE officers, an immigration judge agreed, and an appellate board agreed.
Without
So you have, is that a court order?
Objection.
Well, I object.
No, she can put anything she wants in the record. She's not complying to your request, Mr. Goldman.
She asked for unanimous consent.
Okay, so you're objecting to her putting that into the record?
I am objecting subject to a clarification. Is that a court order that establishes that he's a member of MS-13?
An immigration judge agreed that he was MS-13.
For bail purposes.
An appellate board agreed.
Don't misrepresent.
Hold on.
A judge.
Everybody pause. We're going to let one person talk at a time. You ask a question. Answer the question, please.
According to the Attorney General of the United States, she informed the country that an immigration judge agreed that your Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, is MS-13. An appellate board agreed. ICE officers
you are misstating
agreed.
What the information
A reliable
Mr. Goldman,
informant.
the clock is not yours right now. She has the floor. Please continue answering the question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A Maryland County
She's not answering the question, sir.
No, she's going to answer the question, and then you can object to her answer.
Can you make sure that she answers the question?
Finish answer. You just said, please finish your answer.
A Maryland County Police Gang unit agreed that he's MS-13. A reliable confidential informant agreed that he's MS-13. ICE officers agreed that he's MS-13. An immigration judge agreed that he's MS-13. An appellate board agreed that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, your Maryland man, is MS-13.
Okay.
I object.
Have the floor. What do you want to say?
I object because she is misstating the record and the facts. That is not accurate, and therefore I object to that being introduced. There is no.
Mr.
Sir, can
Chairman?
I explain? You let her go on.
Go ahead.
There is no final court order establishing that he's a member. Maybe he is. So you should put all that evidence before a judge, and if he is MS-13, he should be deported. That's what we're talking about, but you're misstating what all of that evidence is.
No, I think I'm going to make a point here. You basically just read what the Attorney General said, correct?
Yes, sir.
You didn't assert that this was a court order, did you? Did you assert that this was a court order?
I read the Attorney General of the United States.
And you have a right on our committee to submit for unanimous consent or a vote if we want to put it to a vote. this for the record, correct? Is that it?
Yes.
That is
Could I-
correct. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
she has a right.
Could I review what she is submitting?
No, she can submit something to this committee.
But it matters that she just said she represented exactly what the Attorney General said. She has a document there. I would like to
Let's make
see
a
that
copy.
document.
Let's make a copy
to
for
see if her
everybody, and we'll
representation-
vote on. I'm going to hold on just a second. We're going to hold. You're calling for the question? We're calling for the question. The clerk, we're going to need to set. Hold on just a second. Brief recess.
Please, let's get this on the historical record.
This is great.
We voted for.
All right, there's
Mr. Higgins, I'm just asking
hold
to
on.
see the document.
I have the floor. All right, so we have a motion to vote on the submission of this for the record. That's all that has been stated. And
have a parliamentary inquiry, sir.
Do not interrupt me again. We are on the vote on whether or not this can be entered into the record. A motion has been made, and we will vote on that motion. All of those in
I
favor.
have a parliamentary inquiry before we vote, sir.
Mr. Ranking Member.
It's our request that we object. And in the middle of the objection, you consider a motion, which.
He was done talking about Ms.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. You stopped him from talking.
I just have a parliamentary inquiry.
A parliamentary inquiry. Okay, go ahead. You have the floor.
Is it the procedure of this committee that someone who is making an objection to the admission of evidence cannot review that evidence before we vote on it?
Yeah, the content is irrelevant to the motion, and the motion has been made to vote on the submission for the record.
The content is irrelevant? I mean, that's what I'm objecting to. If she is accurate in what her representation is, I will withdraw my objection. I just need to see the
Somebody
document.
walk the thing over there and let him read it. I mean, get to the bottom of this quickly. We'll hold on your vote, Mr. Ogles.
Mr. Chairman, given that this is a tweet from the Attorney General that is effectively, I believe, consistent with what Ms. Taylor Greene says, I withdraw my objection.
Gentleman withdraws his objection. I now recognize.
Let me be clear. That identification didn't come from a tweet or a Facebook post. It came from a Maryland police gang unit, from Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers, from a confidential informant, from an immigration judge, and from the Board of Immigration Appeals. That is not partisan spin. That is not speculative opinion. That is law enforcement consensus. But the moment Greene started reading that into the record, Democrat Congressman Dan Goldman jumped in with an objection. Why? Because he claimed there was no formal court order. Because apparently, unless a gang member gets a personalized certificate from a federal judge, we're not allowed to say he's MS-13. This is where we are. Evidence from 5 different sources isn't good enough for Democrats if it threatens their narrative. Instead of focusing on public safety, Goldman turned it into a procedural mess. He didn't argue that Garcia wasn't dangerous. He didn't argue that IC or the police were wrong. He argued that it couldn't go on the record because it didn't come from a specific kind of court ruling. That is the definition of putting bureaucracy ahead of American lives. What are they afraid of? They're afraid that if this evidence gets into the public record, people will wake up to what we've been saying for years. That open borders are not compassionate. They are deadly. That sanctuary policies don't protect immigrants. They protect criminals. That MS-13 is not just some urban myth. It is a real violent threat operating right here inside our country. After all the yelling and posturing, they finally let Goldman see the document. And what happened? He withdrew his objection, just like that, because Marjorie Taylor Greene was telling the truth. The document said exactly what she claimed it said. The Attorney General laid out that Abrego Garcia was identified as MS-13 by multiple credible, vetted sources. So what was all the drama for? The answer is simple. The left is desperate to protect their broken narrative. They don't want the American people to see the consequences of their policies. Because once people understand that illegal immigration has let MS-13 members roam free in places like Maryland, the whole thing comes crashing down. Their votes, their funding, their identity politics, it all depends on keeping the truth buried. What we saw was more than a disagreement. It was a battle between reality and the illusion the Democrats are trying to maintain. The reality is that criminals are entering this country. The reality is that good people like Marjorie Taylor Greene are trying to expose it. And the illusion is that everything is fine, that no one's in danger, and that anyone who says otherwise is some kind of extremist. This hearing wasn't about one document. It was about the soul of our national security. If Congress can't even agree that MS-13 is a threat, then what exactly are they doing? If ICE, police, and immigration judges can't be trusted to identify a gang member, who can? And more importantly, who are the Democrats really working for? Because if they were working for the American people, this wouldn't even be controversial. The second Greene read those names, Maryland police, ICE, and immigration judge, there should have been silence. Agreement. Unity on the one thing we should all be able to agree on, protecting Americans from known violent criminals. But instead, it turned into a circus. Because the modern Democrat Party would rather risk your safety than admit they were wrong about the border. They would rather argue over procedure than save American lives. And this is why America First exists. Because the media won't tell you the truth. Because most politicians won't tell you the truth. But we will. Loudly, proudly, and unapologetically. If you stand with law enforcement, if you believe that American families deserve to feel safe in their own communities, if you believe that our border should actually mean something, then stand with us. Like this video. Subscribe to America First. Share it with every patriot you know. Because the louder we are, the harder we are to ignore. We're not going anywhere. God bless Marjorie Taylor Greene for standing up. God bless every officer and judge who still believes in justice. And God bless the United States of America. America first. Always.